Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're bringing you again our romantic, dramatic suspense series, I'm Sorry, I Love You, Part 7.
So we're going to find out what's happening with Steven and Veronica.
Right. In the last episode, Veronica was at the doctor's. She was pregnant.
But then the doctor told her it was a lie and he made it up and she wasn't even pregnant.
Exactly. So now let's see what Veronica and Steven are going to say to each other. Maybe they will break up.
I don't know. I don't think so. But let's listen.
Thank God you showed up when you did. He's insane. Do you think we should call the police?
Don't worry about it. I'll call my friend and have him take care of it. I can't believe he was stalking you all these years. What a nut job.
I know. Well, he said I'm not pregnant. I'm sorry if I got you all worked up over nothing. I want you to know that I didn't do it on purpose.
Don't apologize. From the moment I met you, not a day has gone by when I haven't thought of you. And now that I'm with you again, I'm just scared, Veronica. The closer I get to you, the worse it gets. The thought of not being with you, I mean, I just can't handle it. We were made for each other, Veronica. You're my everything, my soulmate. What can I do?
Just hold me. I'll always be here for you, no matter what. And together, we can tackle whatever life throws at us. I believe in us, Steven.
I'm so happy to hear that. I know we belong together. I love you so much.
Oh, it was such a romantic moment. And now what happened? Somebody got shot.
Oh my God. I don't know. This is like so big. I can't believe this is happening.
Well, it's a very intense drama, but we saw some great words and a lot of great phrases in there when Steven was telling her all these beautiful words, right?
That's right. So why don't we look at some of these words now in Language Takeaway.
Language Takeaway.
Veronica was glad, or she was very happy that Steven showed up.
That's right. Showed up.
So to show up.
Right. To come to a place.
Okay. Or to arrive.
That's right.
So let's listen to some examples of how we can use show up in different contexts.
Example 1.
We were waiting for you like an hour and you never showed up.
Example 2. I didn't invite him to the party. He just simply showed up uninvited. Example 3.
After months of being lost, my dog finally showed up with a family.
All right, so I think it's pretty clear now, the verb show up.
And I think this verb is a little bit informal, isn't it?
Yes, you wouldn't really tell your boss, hey, I'm waiting for you to show up.
Yeah, it's a bit too informal.
Mm-hmm. As you know, the doctor, he was stalking Veronica.
That's right. So that's our next word, stalk.
To stalk somebody.
S-T-A-L-K.
Okay, stalk. Now, this isn't a good thing, right?
No, this is bad.
So what happens when you stalk someone?
You follow them secretly for a long time.
And then maybe you watch them and...
Yeah, like you're standing outside their window watching them get undressed or something.
Okay, so many famous people have stalkers, right?
Yeah, which is the noun.
The noun form, exactly. Mm-hmm. So if I am stalking somebody, I am considered to be a stalker.
Yes, so to stalk.
So don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
So Steven described this stalker as a nut job.
A nut job.
Nut job.
A nut job.
Okay, very, very informal, and it doesn't really mean anything literally, but it's crazy.
Yes, it means a crazy person.
A crazy person. What a nut job.
He's a nut job.
Okay. So would you really call this to someone, like, to their face?
No, definitely not. It's definitely impolite.
Right. You can't say to someone, oh, you're a nut job.
Yeah, but it's not a swear word.
No, but it's a little bit insulting, right? It's
That's
like
right.
saying you're crazy,
Yeah.
but stronger. Well, the doctor was a nut job. He was stalking her, and she apologized to Steven for getting him worked up.
Worked up.
So, work up.
To be worked up.
When you get worked up, what happens?
You get really emotional and usually angry or sad or upset, but a negative emotion.
Okay, so you got worked up.
So it's always used with the verb to get. So to get worked up.
Okay, you get worked up.
You got worked up.
Okay, very good. And well, Steven got worked up over nothing, but he didn't mind. He said she is his love, and he called her his soulmate.
His soulmate.
Soulmate.
That's right. A very romantic word, meaning the perfect person for you.
Right, your other half.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so your soulmate is that perfect complement for you. And it's usually romantic, right?
Usually romantic, but sometimes you might use it with your very, very, very best friend.
Okay, because you understand each other.
Yeah, you know what the other one's thinking. You're the perfect fit together.
Okay, soulmate. Mm-hmm. Very good. Well, we've seen some really interesting words, so why don't we listen to our dialogue again, and then we'll come back and look at some of the phrases that were used.
Thank God you showed up when you did. He's insane. Do you think we should call the police?
Don't worry about it. I'll call my friend and have him take care of it. I can't believe he was stalking you all these years. What a nut job.
I know. Well, he said I'm not pregnant. I'm sorry if I got you all worked up over nothing. I want you to know that I didn't do it on purpose.
Don't apologize. From the moment I met you, not a day has gone by when I haven't thought of you. And now that I'm with you again, I'm just scared, Veronica. The closer I get to you, the worse it gets. The thought of not being with you, I mean, I just can't handle it. We were made for each other, Veronica. You're my everything, my soulmate. What can I do?
Just hold me. I'll always be here for you, no matter what. And together, we can tackle whatever life throws at us. I believe in us, Steven.
I'm so happy to hear that. I know we belong together. I love you so much.
That was a little bit more clear this time, but now I want to look at some phrases in the dialogue and see how they can be put together.
Putting it together.
So Veronica apologized to Steven for getting him worked up over nothing.
Over nothing.
Over nothing.
Now it's the complete sentence. I'm sorry for getting you worked up over nothing.
So over nothing means for no reason, right?
Right, exactly. So why don't we listen to some other examples of how we can use over nothing?
Example 1. You always get angry over nothing. You have such a bad temper. Example 2.
I called the police last night over nothing. I thought I had a thief in my house.
Example 3. Let's not fight over nothing. Let's just have dinner in peace.
Okay, so we see you can use many different verbs together with over nothing. So get excited over nothing, get angry over nothing, get upset over nothing.
Exactly. Very good. So over nothing. Mm-hmm. And now for our next phrase. So when Steven was telling Veronica how much he loved her, he told her, "Not a day has gone by when I haven't thought of you."
So not a day has gone by.
So that part of the sentence, "not a day has gone by," what does he mean by that?
He means basically every day I think of you.
There hasn't been a moment
Yeah.
where I haven't thought of you. Now, how can we change it a little bit? What can we change within this phrase?
Well, you can put in different times.
Okay.
So not a day has gone by, not an hour has gone by, not a moment has gone by.
Not a month, not a year.
Exactly.
Okay. So you can use different times in that phrase, but an important thing is that the complement is always negative, right?
That's right. So it's always followed by a negative. Not a day has gone by that I haven't wished you were here.
Okay, so it's followed by a negative.
That's right. Maybe one more. Not a second has gone by that I haven't missed you.
Okay, very good examples. Very romantic.
Oh, Marco.
All right. And now our last phrase. He told her, I'll always be here for you no matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what. So
No matter what.
what does he mean by that?
Well, regardless of, or, nothing's going to stop me.
Okay, so if I want to get that job, I'm going to get it no matter what.
So nothing's going to stop you.
Now, we can change the WH word, what, at the end, right?
Yeah.
With other ones.
Exactly. So no matter where.
No matter where you are, I will find you.
Yeah. No matter when.
No matter when your birthday is, I will be there.
That's right. You can see how you can use different WH words here.
Okay, very good. And it's a very common phrase, right?
Yeah.
No matter what, no matter where.
No matter when, no matter why.
No matter how.
Yeah, no matter how.
Okay, so those were some really great phrases, and I think you can play with them a little bit, change some things, and then you can use them in your everyday life.
That's right. But why don't we hear them again one more time in context with the dialogue?
Thank God you showed up when you did. He's insane. Do you think we should call the police?
Don't worry about it. I'll call my friend and have him take care of it. I can't believe he was stalking you all these years. What a nut job.
I know. Well, he said I'm not pregnant. I'm sorry if I got you all worked up over nothing. I want you to know that I didn't do it on purpose.
Don't apologize. From the moment I met you, not a day has gone by when I haven't thought of you. And now that I'm with you again, I'm just scared, Veronica. The closer I get to you, the worse it gets. The thought of not being with you, I just can't handle it. We were made for each other, Veronica. You're my everything, my soulmate. What can I do?
Just hold me. I'll always be here for you, no matter what. And together, we can tackle whatever life throws at us. I believe in us, Stephen.
I'm so happy to hear that. I know we belong together. I love you so much.
Okay, Erica, so who do you think got shot?
I don't know, but I'm starting to think this story is becoming a soap opera.
Well, it certainly is. And, well, what do you guys think happened? Or who do you think got shot? Or
Who did the shooting?
who shot who? Maybe
Was it even a gunshot?
maybe it was just a car.
The tire could have popped. I don't know.
So, well, come to our website, tell us what you think happens or what you would like to happen, because I know many people are expecting a little bit more romance maybe and less drama.
But if you have any questions about the language in this lesson, please visit the website at englishpod.com.
Exactly. Erica and I are always there to answer your questions and, well, anything you guys need.
Anything?
Anything.
Well, thanks for listening to this lesson, and until next time,
Goodbye.
bye.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Appear. Come to a place.
Show up.
Crazy, not normal.
Insane.
Follow and watch a person, usually dangerous.
Stalk.
Crazy person.
Nut job.
Angry, excited, or upset about something.
Get worked up.
With intention.
On purpose.
Phrase used to show you always do something.
Not a day goes by.
A close friend who has a deep understanding of you.
Soulmate.
Despite of anything may happen.
No matter what.
Deal with something that is difficult.
Tackle.
Severe mental illness, the state of being crazy.
Insanity.
To annoy or bother someone many times.
Harass.
Say that you will do something to hurt or cause harm to a person.
Threaten.
Person who commits a crime.
Perpetrator.
A person who follows someone for a long period of time in a way that is dangerous.
Stalker.
Let's try that faster. Crazy person.
Nut job.
Crazy, not normal.
Insane.
Say that you will do something to hurt or cause harm to a person.
Threaten.
Appear. Come to a place.
Show up.
Despite of anything may happen.
No matter what.
To annoy or bother someone many times.
Harass.
With intention.
On purpose.
Follow and watch a person, usually dangerous.
Stalk.
A close friend who has a deep understanding of you.
Soulmate.
Phrase used to show you always do something.
Not a day goes by.
Person who commits a crime.
Perpetrator.
A person who follows someone for a long period of time in a way that is dangerous.
Stalker.
Severe mental illness, the state of being crazy.
Insanity.
Angry, excited, or upset about something.
Get worked up.
Deal with something that is difficult.
Tackle.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Show up.
We were waiting for you like an hour and you never showed up.
Show up.
I didn't invite him to the party. He just simply showed up uninvited.
Show up.
After months of being lost, my dog finally showed up. Don't worry about the bill. I'll take care of it. I'm glad we hired a wedding planner. She is taking care of everything. I hired a lawyer that will take care of everything for the divorce process.
Get worked up.
It's not a problem. You are getting all worked up for no reason.
Get worked up.
Don't get worked up. I will cook dinner and have it ready by the time your boss arrives.
Get worked up.
Pete gets easily worked up over small problems at work.
No matter what.
You can always tell me anything, no matter what it is.
No matter what.
No matter what, I have to pay the phone bill today.
No matter what.
My dad told me I have to go to college no matter what.
Tackle.
The company has a very big problem that we must tackle in order to survive.
Tackle.
I don't know how you do it, tackling all these problems at once.
Tackle.
In life, there are many obstacles that we must tackle in order to be successful.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to another lesson with us here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're going to be talking about physics.
That's right. An advanced lesson for all you physics lovers out there. And even for those of you who maybe don't love physics so much, there's still some great language here.
Right. We're going to be talking about the Big Bang Theory, a very popular theory of how the universe or the world and how we came upon being created.
That's right. So we've got some physics language, but we've also got some really tough words that I bet many of our users have never seen before, which we're going to look at those in this lesson.
All right. So why don't we get started with this great and interesting lesson, and let's listen to the dialogue for the first time.
What's up? You don't look too good.
Yeah, my head hurts, that's all. I've been in physics class all day. It's killer.
I liked physics. It's all math, really. Arcs, curves, velocity. Cool stuff.
Yeah. But today's lesson was all about the creation of the universe.
A physics class about the creation of the universe? That's some pretty unscientific language there. It sounds more religious to me.
It's all religion. Take the theory of the Big Bang. How is it possible that all of the stuff in the universe comes from an explosion? That's no better than Atlas carrying the globe on his back or African myths about turtles and stuff.
Turtles? Whatever. Look, all that's required for the creation of matter is an imbalance of particles and antiparticles. At least that's what the math says.
Math schmath. What's the evidence?
There is evidence. You know Edwin Hubble, the guy who in the early 20th century was the first scientist to measure the drift of matter in the universe, thus advancing notions of an expanding universe. What would it be expanding from? Well, the Big Bang, duh.
Anyway, it's just a theory. Why do people go around touting theories? Where's the rigor in that?
Dude, don't equivocate. A theory only becomes a theory after withstanding rigorous testing. You slept through class, didn't you?
You're making my head hurt again. Quit with the question.
Well, it sure does sound like a difficult class, doesn't it?
It's a very interesting topic and very controversial, so there are many opinions on it. But before we get into that, why don't we take a look at some of those physics-related words that we listen to in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
We've got 4 words we've heard in the dialogue that are all related to physics. So let's start with the first one, which is matter.
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 Okay, so you probably know this word from What's the Matter? What's
Right.
wrong?
Yep.
In this case, we're talking about matter, so anything that occupies space, that has a mass, or that is related to energy. So matter.
So all things in the world are made up of matter, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Now let's move on to another one.
Particles.
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 Now, particles are a little bit easier. They're just very small pieces of a whole.
An apple is made up of apple particles.
Something like that. You can, if you want to understand it easily, apple has many small particles that make up the apple.
So, let's paint a picture here. Imagine we've got a beach, and all the pieces of sand are particles of the beach.
Exactly. Very good. So those are particles.
Now, the next one is a little bit difficult for me. I don't understand this. Antiparticles.
All right. So antiparticles.
Antiparticles.
Now, this prefix, anti, it means something that is against, right?
Right. And I've seen this one in anti-clockwise.
All right. So antiparticles are those that are against particles. So basically, if you have a particle that has a positive charge and another one comes in with a negative charge in the same weight and the same type of particle, if they get together, they cancel each other out and they both die.
Oh.
So that's an antiparticle.
All right. Well, you heard it first here at English Pod.
So antiparticles are not a good thing to have around.
Now, we also heard them talk about the drift of matter.
Right, drift of matter.
Drift of matter.
Also sometimes called drift of dark matter.
Okay, well, I know the verb to drift, right? To sort of float away on the sea.
Right, if you have a little ship, you leave it on the beach, it'll drift away. It'll go
Right.
slowly away.
Yeah. But what about drift of matter?
So basically, the drift of matter is this residue, the remains of the Big Bang, of the explosion.
Okay.
So matter and radiation keeps on drifting through the universe.
So it's moving slowly through the universe.
Moving slowly. So this big explosion, and just consider it to be like this ripple, and it's expanding and expanding. That's the drift of matter.
All right. Well, I learned something else today.
Some very specific words related to physics, but it's very interesting. Once you get into reading about these things, it will help you to understand it better.
That's right. But we've also got some non-physics related language that we want to look at now in Language Takeaway Part 2.
The drift of matter and how it's drifting through the universe. And then he said, thus advancing the notions of an expanding universe.
So I want to look at the phrase, thus advancing notions.
Thus advancing notions.
Okay, let's start with the first word here, thus.
Okay, so this is a good connector
Or conjunction.
or conjunction. And basically it means
Therefore.
therefore or in consequence,
Yeah.
right?
So thus advancing notions. Now, notions are ideas.
Right.
And so when you advance notions or advance ideas, you help them make progress. You help them go forward and become known.
Okay, so in order to understand this in the context, they are saying that the drift of matter thus advances notions of an expanding universe. So it is making progress to people believing that the universe is getting bigger.
Okay, so interesting phrase. Now, I really like this word thus, and a lot of people are afraid to use it. So why don't we hear a few examples of how it's used in context?
Example 1.
So you can see that we've studied the fossil record, and thus we can conclude that evolution is a fact.
Example 2.
He broke severe company policies, thus we had to fire him.
Example 3.
I did not receive the documents on time, thus I was unable to send them to you.
All right, good examples of thus, and I guess now we can use it a little bit better.
That's right. Now let's move on to our next word. So they were talking about people who go around touting theories.
Tout.
To tout.
Okay, so what does this mean, tout?
Well, basically, when you tout something, you talk about it in a positive way, so as to almost like sell that thing.
Okay,
So, for example, we can say the company is touting the many benefits of its product.
okay, very good. So to talk positively about something.
Yeah, with the idea of trying to sell that thing or make people buy into it or believe it.
All right, very good. What about our next word?
Well, we heard two related words in the dialogue. They were talking about where's the rigor in these theories and rigorous testing.
Okay, so what's the difference between rigor and rigorous?
Rigor is the state of being very clear and careful and exact.
Okay.
And rigorous is just the adjective. Clear, careful, attention to detail, and exact.
Okay, very good. So rigorous training.
I'm going over my notes in rigorous detail.
Okay, very good. And now we have one more word today in language takeaway, and that is equivocate.
So we heard, dude, don't equivocate.
Don't equivocate.
Don't equivocate.
All right, so what does he mean by this?
Well, when you equivocate, you use big words to try and mislead somebody.
Okay, so using big words to confuse or to mislead.
Yep. So, for example, we could say the job candidate, we could say, when asked about his experience, the job candidate equivocated.
Okay.
Or even the presidential nominee did not equivocate when he explained his tax policy.
All right, so some good examples, good phrases, a lot of interesting stuff, and a little bit more educational podcast today.
That's right. So let's continue with our education by listening to the dialogue one last time.
What's up? You don't look too good.
Yeah, my head hurts, that's all. I've been in physics class all day. It's killer.
I liked physics. It's all math, really. Arcs, curves, velocity. Cool stuff.
Yeah. But today's lesson was all about the creation of the universe.
A physics class about the creation of the universe? That's some pretty unscientific language there. It sounds more religious to me.
It's all religion. Take the theory of the Big Bang. How is it possible that all of the stuff in the universe comes from an explosion? That's no better than Atlas carrying the globe on his back, or African myths about turtles and stuff.
Turtles? Whatever. Look, all that's required for the creation of matter is an imbalance of particles and antiparticles. At least that's what the math says.
Math schmath. What's the evidence?
There is evidence. You know Edwin Hubble, the guy who in the early 20th century was the first scientist to measure the drift of matter in the universe, thus advancing notions of an expanding universe. What would it be expanding from? Well, the Big Bang, duh.
Anyway, it's just a theory. Why do people go around touting theories? Where's the rigor in that?
Dude, don't equivocate. A theory only becomes a theory after withstanding rigorous testing. You slept through class, didn't you?
You're making my head hurt again. Quit with the question.
All right, so the Big Bang Theory, very controversial. In some schools in the United States, they have prohibited the teachers from teaching it.
I know, which seems quite interesting to me. But it is actually very controversial, and people can get really, really upset about this in America.
So it is an interesting topic. Take it from the point of view of just something else, maybe just to learn a little bit more about this topic, such as physics, right?
Right. But there's something that is uncontroversial that I did want to talk about now that we heard in the dialogue. There's a lot of really interesting sort of slang words here in the dialogue, isn't there?
Yeah, we heard in the first part of the dialogue when he said, I've been in physics class all day. Killer.
Killer.
So what does he mean by killer?
Oh, he's just basically saying it's really hard. You know, it's like it's so difficult that it's murderous.
It was intense.
Yep. But this word we can use positively as well, can't we?
Yeah, I guess you could say that was a killer party.
Yeah, killer moves on the dance floor.
Okay.
Another interesting thing is that he said math schmath.
Now, schmath isn't really a word.
No, but this is a really common structure we use in English when we want to sort of take away from the importance of an idea.
Okay, so you're saying it's not important, I don't care about it, or it's not worth it.
Yeah, so for example, I'm on a diet.
Right, and I would say diet, schmayet.
Yeah.
So basically, the structure is just add an SH and then just kind of make it rhyme.
Yeah.
Schmayet, or like
work schmirk.
Yeah, work schmirk, or something like that.
Yeah.
So you're just making fun of it and you're taking away importance.
Yeah, that's a pretty neat phrase. And one more. We heard them say duh.
Duh.
So when we say this, we're just saying like, you should know this, stupid.
Yeah, this is obvious.
Yep.
It's kind of making fun of the person, or
Yeah.
just saying it's so obvious, how can you not know it?
Yeah.
And it always goes either at the beginning or at the end of a sentence.
Yeah, so duh, Marco, we're recording a podcast.
Right. Very good. So some great words and phrases in this dialogue, and a little bit of slang as well, so you can use it maybe with your friends.
That's right. If you have any questions about the language in this dialogue, or any thoughts on physics or the Big Bang Theory, come and check out our website at englishpod.com.
All right, we'll see you guys there, and until next time.
Goodbye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
What is happening? An informal greeting.
What's up?
Something that is extremely difficult to deal with or withstand.
Killer.
A set of statements or principles devised to explain a group of facts or phenomena.
Theory.
The theory that a cosmic explosion caused the origin of the universe.
Big Bang.
The substance of which something is made. Material.
Matter.
The situation where there is an unequal amount of different things.
Imbalance.
Any one tiny part of matter.
Particle.
A particle that has the same mass as another particle but has opposite values for its other properties.
Antiparticle.
Ideas or concepts.
Notion.
A state of something being very exact.
Rigor.
Use vague language so as to deceive someone.
Equivocate.
Surviving a difficult experience or trouble.
Withstand.
The scientific study of matter in outer space, especially the positions, dimensions, distribution, motion, composition, energy, and evolution of celestial bodies and phenomenon.
Astronomy.
A region of space resulting from the collapse of a star with extremely high gravitational field.
Black hole.
A small, faint, very dense star.
White dwarf.
The tendency of all matter and energy in the universe to evolve toward a state of inert uniformity.
Entropy.
A point of infinite density and infinitesimal volume at which space and time become infinitely distorted, according to the theory of general relativity.
Singularity.
A seemingly contradictory statement that may nonetheless be true.
Paradox.
Let's try that faster.
The substance of which something is made. Material.
Matter.
Surviving a difficult experience or trouble.
Withstand.
Use vague language so as to deceive someone.
Equivocate.
A particle that has the same mass as another particle but has opposite values for its other properties.
Antiparticle.
Any one tiny part of matter.
Particle.
The situation where there is an unequal amount of different things.
Imbalance.
A set of statements or principles devised to explain a group of facts or phenomena.
Theory.
The scientific study of matter in outer space, especially the positions, dimensions, distribution, motion, composition, energy, and evolution of celestial bodies and phenomenon.
Astronomy.
A point of infinite density and infinitesimal volume at which space and time become infinitely distorted, according to the theory of general relativity.
Singularity.
A small, faint, very dense star.
White dwarf.
The theory that a cosmic explosion caused the origin of the universe.
Big Bang.
A seemingly contradictory statement that may nonetheless be true.
Paradox.
What is happening? An informal greeting.
What's up?
Ideas or concepts.
Notion.
The tendency of all matter and energy in the universe to evolve toward a state of inert uniformity.
Entropy.
Something that is extremely difficult to deal with or withstand.
Killer.
A state of something being very exact.
Rigor.
A region of space resulting from the collapse of a star with extremely high gravitational field.
Black hole.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
So you can see that we've studied the fossil record, and thus we can conclude that evolution is a fact. He broke severe company policies, thus we had to fire him. I did not receive the documents on time, thus I was unable to send them to you. But we examined the data rigorously. How can there be an error? It's simply not possible. Don't worry, the nuclear reactor went through rigorous testing, so we can be sure that it is safe. She is a professor who is known for her scientific rigor. The dieting experts are touting the benefits of the latest weight loss program, but I think it's just a fad. This drug is being touted as a miracle cure. The release of the much-touted web browser will revolutionize the way you use the internet. Equivocate. When asked about his plan for cutting taxes, the presidential candidate did not equivocate. Equivocate. In the interview, when I asked him about why he left his last job, he started to equivocate. Equivocate. Stop equivocating. Tell me clearly what you mean. Notion. Where did you get this notion that the sun travels around the earth? Notion. Scientists are advancing the notion that socialization plays a role in language learning. Notion. That's an absurd notion. It's absolutely not true.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another lesson with us here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're going back to school.
That's right. We're talking about my least favorite subject.
That would be math.
That's right.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about math. Now, I know that many of you, of course, know math.
Right.
But do you know the operations in English?
Many people find it hard to find the right words to talk about math in English.
Right. So that's what we're going to be looking at today.
And we'll also look at some names that you can call people who are really, really, really smart.
So let's listen to our dialogue for the first time, and then we'll come back and look at those math words.
All right, children, let's review. Tommy, pay attention.
Sorry, Miss Cadlick.
Okay, Crystal, now tell me. What's 4 plus 11?
15. Miss Cadlick always asks Crystal. She's such a teacher's pet.
Okay, and what about 56 minus 60?
-4.
Very good. 12 times 12?
Very good. Suck up.
144.
0 divided by 1?
0.
How did you know that? Okay, smarty pants. The square root of 2.
Bet you're not going to get that one, know-it-all.
1.4142135.
All right, so that's one smart little girl, huh?
Yeah, pretty smart. Actually, smarter than me in math.
All right, so let's take a look at some of those words that the teacher used to ask her about certain operations in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Okay, so like we said, you guys know how to do math and you know the words in your language, but maybe in English it's a little bit harder to find the right word. So let's look at those now.
Okay, so let's look at the first question that she asked. What's 4 plus 11?
4 plus 11.
Okay, plus.
Plus.
All right. So 4 plus 11, Erica, is?
Let me take a look at here. 15.
15. Okay, so we are adding, right?
Yes.
So that's how you would say. Let's go with an easy one. 2 plus 2.
4.
4, right?
Yep.
Or 5 plus 5.
10.
10, okay.
You're really testing my skills.
So that's how you would add numbers.
Now, what about taking away numbers?
Okay, so taking away or subtracting. All right, let's test you again. In the dialogue, she said 56 minus 60.
56 minus 60 equals -4.
Okay, minus, so that's negative, right?
Minus.
So, and of course, if you have 56 apples and you take away 60, you are left with
-4.
Negative
well,
4.
actually, you're left with 0 apples.
Yeah, exactly. Now, that answer is also interesting. -4.
-4.
That means -4, right?
4 less than 0.
4 less than 0. Very good. -4. Okay, so now for our next operation. 12 times 12.
12 times 12.
12 times 12.
No, Marco, don't ask me the answer.
All right, 12 times 12 equals 144. Now, that's multiplying.
Right, or multiplication.
Multiplication. Okay, so this times part, it's very easy to remember because, for example, 4 times 4. You can just say 4, the number 4, and you add it, right?
4 times.
4 times. 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4.
Right, so times.
Times. Uh-huh.
Now the opposite of times.
All right, the opposite of multiplication is division.
Division.
Okay, so in our dialogue, the teacher said 0 divided by 1.
0 divided by 1.
0 divided by 1. Any number divided by 0 is 0.
All right, so let's give another example. 15 divided by 3.
All right, so 15 divided by 3 equals
5.
5. Exactly.
So divided by.
Divided by. Very good. So after division, the teacher was very impressed, and now she asked a very hard mathematical operation, especially for a girl this age. The square root of 2.
The square root of.
Square root.
So let's give some examples to show what is the square root.
Okay. So if I ask you the square root of 9.
3.
3, right?
Yes.
What about the square root of 4?
2.
2. Okay. So now one more. The square root of 16.
4.
4. Okay, so you notice the pattern, right? And I'm sure everyone knows this in their own language, how you would get a square root.
Exactly. So this language is pretty simple. You all know it in your own language, but let's hear it again in English one more time with the dialogue.
All right, children, let's review. Tommy, pay attention.
Sorry, Miss Cadlick.
Okay, Crystal, now tell me. What's 4 plus 11? 15.
Miss Cadlick always asks Crystal. She's such a teacher's pet.
Okay, and what about 56 minus 60? -4. Very good. 12 times 12?
Very good. Suck up.
144. 0 divided by 1?
0.
How did you know that? Okay, smarty pants. The square root of 2.
Bet you're not going to get that one, know-it-all.
1.4142135.
Okay, so we understand the mathematical operations that we saw here. Very easy. But now there was another little kid in there who was very, I think, envious or jealous.
Yeah, Tommy.
Tommy, right? So he called her a couple of different names.
Well, let's look at those now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, so the first one that he called Crystal, the little girl, he called her a teacher's pet.
Teacher's pet.
Teacher's pet.
A teacher's pet.
So, Erica, what exactly is a teacher's pet?
It is the favorite student the teacher has in that class.
All right, so it's always the student that's helping the teacher.
Yeah, the smartest student.
Yeah. The teacher's pet.
Yeah, and it has a negative meaning in English.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's a good thing to be the teacher's pet.
Like the teacher thinks it's good.
Yeah.
But all of the friends and the classmates, they think it's bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Teacher's pet.
And similar to teacher's pet is a suck up.
Suck up.
Suck up.
Again, suck up. What is this? What is a suck up?
A suck up is a person who tries really, really hard to make the teacher like him.
Okay, now we can also use it outside of the classroom, right?
Yeah, at work, maybe.
Okay, there is always at work, there is always one person who's the suck up, right?
Yes. Now, again, this has a negative meaning in English.
Yeah, I guess in the workplace, the rest of your colleagues don't really like that person who's considered to be the suck up, who's always trying to please the boss.
Exactly.
All right.
All right, so the teacher calls Crystal a smarty pants.
Smarty pants.
Smarty pants.
Okay, so this is also a little name calling, right? So what is a smarty pants?
Somebody who is too smart.
Too smart.
Who tries too hard to be smart.
Now, this is only for little kids, right? I wouldn't call you a smarty pants. Right?
No, it's definitely for children. Adults don't say this.
Unless maybe you are joking or having fun with someone.
Yeah, but if you say it, you are suggesting that you're being like a child.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, smarty pants. And our last one, and this is also a very good phrase and a way to describe someone, know-it-all.
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 A know-it-all.
Sometimes you say Mr. Know-it-all, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so what is a know-it-all?
Somebody who tries to show everyone that they know it all.
They know everything.
Yeah, they're so smart.
They have the answers to everything.
But they really, really try and show everyone that they know everything.
These people can be sometimes a little bit irritating, right?
Yeah, very, very annoying.
Annoying.
Yeah.
All right, so it's not a good thing to be a know-it-all all the time.
Yeah, actually, all of these phrases are not good things to be.
Okay, so let's listen to our dialogue one more time, and then we're gonna come back and Erica's gonna tell us how much she hates math.
All right, children, let's review. Tommy, pay attention.
Sorry, Miss Cadlick.
Okay, Crystal, now tell me. What's 4 plus 11?
15.
Miss Cadlick always asks Crystal. She's such a teacher's pet.
Okay, and what about 56 minus 60?
Negative 4.
Very good. 12 times 12?
Very good. Suck up.
144.
0 divided by 1?
0.
How did you know that? Okay, smarty pants. The square root of 2.
Bet you're not going to get that one, know-it-all.
1.4142135.
All right, so Erica, you were telling me that you hated math, or you still do.
Well, yes, that's true. I really do hate math. And even doing a simple, like 16 plus 32 is too hard for me.
So you were never really that type of person that's good with numbers.
No, I'm terrible with numbers. I can't even remember my own phone number.
Really?
That's true. Like, I really, if someone asks me for my phone number, I have to look on my phone in the address book to find it.
Well, yeah, sometimes numbers can be difficult. I kind of liked math when I was younger. It just made sense. So.
Well, I guess there's a reason why I'm an English teacher and not a math teacher.
And I was actually not very good at language.
But here you are.
Exactly. Well, I mean, in Spanish, I like grammar. Not very good at that, all those rules.
Yeah, but you're pretty good at English, so that's all right with me.
That's all right.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Tell us what your favorite subject or your least favorite subject in school was. What about you? Do you have any favorite subject? or did you have a favorite subject?
History.
History.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I liked chemistry for a
Oh,
while.
God. Chemistry involves numbers.
Well, a little bit, but
Yeah.
it was interesting as well.
So come to the website, everyone, englishpod.com, and you can find lots of other resources there.
And also be sure to check out our activity stream where you can answer and ask very quick questions depending on your level. So you can choose if you're an elementary student, then you would be talking to other elementaries.
That's right. Well, thanks for downloading this lesson, and until next time, goodbye.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Go over what has been learned.
Review.
Add.
Plus.
The student a teacher likes best.
Teacher's pet.
Take away. Subtract.
Minus.
To multiply.
Times.
A person who always tries to make the teacher or boss like him or her.
Suck up.
Separate to some parts.
Divided by.
A person who tries to show he is so smart.
Smarty pants.
The number obtained when a number is multiplied by itself.
Square root.
I think something is likely to happen.
I'll bet.
The person claims or pretends to know everything.
Know it all.
A math problem where each side is equal.
Equation.
A mathematical process such as adding, multiplying, subtracting, etc.
Operation.
The process of adding a number to itself a certain number of times.
Multiplication.
The process of adding two numbers together.
Addition.
The process of taking one number away from another.
Subtraction.
The process of dividing something into parts.
Division.
Let's try that faster.
The number obtained when a number is multiplied by itself.
Square root.
The process of dividing something into parts.
Division.
A person who tries to show he is so smart.
Smarty pants.
A math problem where each side is equal.
Equation.
To multiply.
Times.
Take away. Subtract.
Minus.
The student a teacher likes best.
Teacher's pet.
Go over what has been learned.
Review.
Add.
Plus.
I think something is likely to happen.
I'll bet.
The process of adding a number to itself a certain number of times.
Multiplication.
The person claims or pretends to know everything.
Know it all.
A person who always tries to make the teacher or boss like him or her.
Suck up.
Separate to some parts.
Divided by.
The process of taking one number away from another.
Subtraction.
A mathematical process such as adding, multiplying, subtracting, etc.
Operation.
The process of adding two numbers together.
Addition.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Plus. Everyone knows that 2 plus 2 equals 4. Plus. We need 5 tickets plus an extra one for John. Plus. I have $2,000 in my bank account plus an extra $500 under my bed. Minus. The ticket costs $100 minus a 10% discount. Minus. I don't understand this. Do you know what 1 minus 1 equals? Minus. There were 5 cans of tuna here minus 2 that I ate this morning. Where are the rest? Divided by. To solve this problem, you'll need to divide the number of days in a year by the number of days worked. Divided by. I weigh 140 pounds, so if I divide that by 2.2, I will know my weight in kilograms. Divided by. I don't think we have enough food. We only have 2 pizzas and we need to divide them by 20 people. Mommy, everyone at school says I'm a teacher's pet. There was a kid that used to bring my teacher an apple every day. He was such a teacher's pet. I always hated the kid that was the teacher's pet. He would always get more attention. Suck up. We have a colleague at work who's the biggest suck up. He's always being nice to our boss. Suck up. I hate it when someone tries to suck up to you just because you work with Britney Spears. Suck up. There is a job opening next month for a managerial position. I think I'm going to have to act like a suck up to get that job.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're bringing you another part of our sports series. And today we're going to be talking about volleyball.
That's right. And we're going all the way to New Zealand to visit the men's volleyball championships.
So we're going to be looking at some great words and phrases related to volleyball and also how to describe a sporting event. So before we start on the dialogue, let's take a look at 2 words on vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
All right, we're going to hear both of these words in the dialogue. Now, the first one, encounter.
Encounter.
An exciting encounter.
All right, so if we have an exciting encounter, it means we have an exciting
meeting of 2 people or 2 teams or 2 groups.
If I say I had an incredible encounter last night with my best friend.
You met up with your best friend and something happened.
Okay, so that's what an encounter would mean.
Yes.
Looking at our second word now, powerhouse.
2 powerhouse teams.
All right, so we have 2 powerhouse teams, China and Brazil.
That's right. So a powerhouse team is basically a strong, powerful, really energetic, great team, right?
Okay, so we can use it for teams, such as in this case, but we can also describe maybe a company or a person as a powerhouse.
That guy is a powerhouse. He can lift 500 pounds.
Now, I think it's time for us to listen to our dialogue for the first time. We're going to be listening to this this great sporting event as we are taken to New Zealand to see China and Brazil play.
It's a beautiful day here in New Zealand at the Men's Volleyball World Championship. My name is Rick Fields, and I'm joined by the man of the plan, Bob Copeland.
Thank you, Rick. We've got a very exciting encounter ahead of us today as two powerhouse teams, Brazil and China, face off against each other and try to qualify for the next round. Without a doubt, both teams are in top shape, and this will prove to be a competitive match.
The ref signals the start of the game, and here we go. Ribeiro serves, and China quickly receives the ball. Chun bumps it to the setter, and a very nice set by Chun.
Xu spikes it. Wow, what a great hit. The Brazilian blockers anticipated the play and tried to block him, but he managed to get the ball in. Great play.
It's China's service now. What a superb jump serve by Lee. Oh, and we have a let serve. The ball was coming in fast and almost made it over the net.
Brazil calls for a timeout, and we'll be right back after a short commercial break.
Well, sounds like a pretty exciting encounter between these two countries.
Very good teams, and both of them, as they mentioned, are powerhouse teams.
Well, why don't we take a look at some of the vocabulary that we came across in this dialogue? We're going to be focusing on volleyball words here in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Okay, so in Language Takeaway today, we're going to have 6 words. And let's start with the first one. Chen bumps it to the setter.
All right, to bump.
All right, so in volleyball, when you are going to receive the ball, you put your arms together and you hit it with your forearms.
That's right, so at the top of your arm.
Right, and that's how you pass it to another player. That's called a bump.
So it is a noun and a verb, a bump to bump.
Exactly.
Now, another type of way to move the ball in volleyball we heard in the dialogue is a set.
A very nice set by Chen.
So a set or to set.
Right, the word can be used as a verb and a noun. And again, you take the ball and you move it with the tips of your fingers.
That is actually done by the setter.
Right. That is done by the setter, and he does this, he sets the ball, so then the attacker can spike the ball.
So that's our next word, to spike.
So to spike the ball,
or a spike,
is when you hit the ball very hard and very fast with the palm of your hand.
That's right. And that's how you score your points, right?
Exactly. So you'll see 3 basic moves, the bump, set, and spike.
But what about the serve?
All right, so our 4th word in volleyball is service.
So it's China's service now.
Right. So the service is the opportunity for the team to serve the ball.
Yeah, pretty simple.
Right, and that means basically to start the game by hitting it to the other side.
Now, one type of serve is the jump serve.
Jump serve.
Jump serve.
Now, this is very popular, and you will see some players do this. They will throw the ball in the air and then jump in the air and hit it.
That's right.
All right, so that's a jump serve. And our last word for today is let serve.
A let serve.
Okay, we have a let serve today.
So a let serve is when you serve the ball and it sort of brushes over the net.
Right, it'll hit the net, but it will still pass to the other side.
That's right, and that's an illegal move in volleyball, isn't it?
When you are serving, yes.
So a let serve.
Right. So those are the 6 terms related to volleyball that we're going to be looking at today. And, well, with this in mind, let's move on to looking at some phrases now in, Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
All right, so our 2 announcers, Bob and Rick, said that we've got an exciting encounter ahead of us.
Right. So they use this phrase, ahead of us.
Ahead of us.
So basically, what does that mean?
Something will happen in the very near future.
So they are expecting it, or they will encounter it maybe.
Yes. So why don't we give a few examples of this phrase? Marco, we've got a long day ahead of us.
We have a very exciting trip ahead of us today.
Okay, so ahead of us. So we know it's an exciting game, and we heard the announcers say, without a doubt, both teams are in top shape.
Okay, so the phrase without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
So if I start a phrase using without a doubt.
You're basically saying there's no question. It's so obvious. This definitely is true.
It's very true. Okay.
Yep.
So without a doubt, English Pod is the best podcast out there.
Without a doubt, this is the strategy we should take.
Okay, very good. So without a doubt. Why don't we move on to our third phrase now? This will prove to be a competitive match.
So let's look at the phrase will prove to be. Something will prove to be.
Okay, so before we get into it, why don't we listen to some examples?
Example 1.
And I think he will prove to be the greatest president we've ever had.
Example 2.
The new HR policy is proving to be a waste of time.
Example 3.
We were worried that we were going to get laid off, but our fears proved to be untrue.
Okay, so when something will prove to be, it will show itself to be this thing, right?
It will demonstrate. We will see it. We will see for sure how it will be. And now for our fourth phrase, a very simple one, but very common in sports commentators or when you're watching a game. You'll say, great play.
Great play.
Great play.
A great play. Now we know play is usually a verb, right? But here it's acting as a noun. A play is basically a move in a sport or a game.
So when somebody says a great play, it means all the succession of moves and passes and hits to make the point.
Yep.
So it was a great play.
And that you can use that for any sport.
Right. So why don't we listen to our dialogue now for the second time, and then we'll come back and talk about this very popular sport, volleyball.
It's a beautiful day here in New Zealand at the Men's Volleyball World Championship. My name is Rick Fields, and I'm joined by the man with the plan, Bob Copeland.
Thank you, Rick. We've got a very exciting encounter ahead of us today as two powerhouse teams, Brazil and China, face off against each other and try to qualify for the next round. Without a doubt, both teams are in top shape, and this will prove to be a competitive match.
The ref signals the start of the game, and here we go. Ribeiro serves, and China quickly receives the ball. Chun bumps it to the setter, and a very nice set by Chun.
Xu spikes it. Wow, what a great hit. The Brazilian blockers anticipated the play and tried to block him, but he managed to get the ball in. Great play.
It's China's service now. What a superb jump serve by Li. Oh, and we have a let serve. The ball was coming in fast and almost made it over the net.
Brazil calls for a timeout, and we'll be right back after a short commercial break.
So are you a volleyball fan, Marco?
It's a very nice sport. It's very fast and it's very hard.
Yep.
But it's very interesting to get together with friends, maybe at the beach, and play some beach volleyball or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's the best place to play volleyball. And, you know, we even have beach volleyball up in freezing cold Canada.
And do you have sand?
Occasionally.
All right, so volleyball is a great sport, but now we want to know what sport you want to learn about. We've covered soccer, we've covered basketball, we've covered volleyball. So tell us what other sports you would like to learn vocabulary and phrases on.
That's right. You can tell us this and many more things at EnglishPod.com, our website. So check it out.
Right. Leave your questions and comments, and we'll see you guys there.
Thanks for downloading, and until next time, goodbye.
Bye.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Meet for a game or battle.
Encounter.
In the future.
Ahead of someone.
A highly energetic, strong team.
Powerhouse.
To reach the latter stages of a selection or process by competing successfully in earlier rounds.
Qualify.
In their best condition.
In top shape.
Hit the ball to start the game.
Serve.
To pass a volleyball by redirecting it with the forearms.
Bump.
The action of putting the ball in the air so it can be driven to the opponent's court.
Set.
Strongly hit the ball to the opponent's court using the palm of the hand.
Spike.
To foresee and act in advance of.
Anticipate.
A serve with the ball firstly thrown overhead and then the player jumping to hit it.
Jump serve.
The ball touches the net in a serve but still crosses into the opponent's court.
Let serve.
A pause during the game.
Time out.
When the team that served the ball loses the rally, causing the other team to serve the next point.
Side out.
A mishit, when a player attempts to hit or spike the ball with an open hand and nearly misses the ball.
Whiff.
The ability to prevent the ball from touching one's court after a spike or attack, particularly a ball that is nearly touching the ground.
Dig.
It is the practice of throwing a coin in the air to resolve a dispute between two parties.
Coin toss.
A contest or game ending in a tie.
Draw. Let's try that faster.
A highly energetic, strong team.
Powerhouse.
To foresee and act in advance of.
Anticipate.
To reach the latter stages of a selection or process by competing successfully in earlier rounds.
Qualify.
In their best condition.
In top shape.
The ability to prevent the ball from touching one's court after a spike or attack, particularly a ball that is nearly touching the ground.
Dig.
It is the practice of throwing a coin in the air to resolve a dispute between two parties.
Coin toss.
To pass a volleyball by redirecting it with the forearms.
Bump.
In the future.
Ahead of someone.
A pause during the game.
Time out.
A serve with the ball firstly thrown overhead and then the player jumping to hit it.
Jump serve.
Hit the ball to start the game.
Serve.
When the team that served the ball loses the rally, causing the other team to serve the next point.
Side out.
A contest or game ending in a tie.
Draw.
A mishit, when a player attempts to hit or spike the ball with an open hand and nearly misses the ball.
Whiff.
Meet for a game or battle.
Encounter.
Strongly hit the ball to the opponent's court using the palm of the hand.
Spike.
The ball touches the net in a serve but still crosses into the opponent's court.
Let serve.
The action of putting the ball in the air so it can be driven to the opponent's court.
Set. Now say the word and hear it in a sentence. Powerhouse. Our company is considered to be a powerhouse in the manufacturing industry. Powerhouse. How did Austria become a powerhouse of soccer in the 1920s? Powerhouse. China has grown into an economic powerhouse in the past decade. In top shape. Sarah ran a marathon this weekend and won. She is really in top shape. In top shape. You have to be in top shape to climb Mount Everest. In top shape. Our company had great sales this quarter, so we are in top shape. Anticipate. We thought we could see all the animals in the zoo, but we didn't anticipate there would be so many people. Anticipate. I anticipated it would rain today, so I brought my umbrella. Anticipate. A businessman must try to anticipate what his customers will want. Set. The setter must set the ball precisely so the other player can hit it. Set. You are setting the ball too low. I can't hit it. Set. That was a great set. The player jumped and hit the ball perfectly. I was almost late to the sales meeting, but managed to make it on time. Sarah was sick, but she managed to make it to work today. I am sorry, I can't make it to your party tonight. I already have plans.